Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to every one of you who subscribes to my channel. Seriously, I'm always honest when I say as long as there's one of you, I'm gonna keep going because you're making it fun. It's a brand new year and you can join the Legion today, and for $1 you can help decide next week's new character. It's a battle of masked heroes who love the color black. From The Princess Bride, it's Wesley versus Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. Yeah, you never thought those two would go head to head now, would ya? Today we're bringing to life one character that I've been trying to figure out since the very beginning of this channel a couple years ago. Not because the build is hard, but because they are just horrific. Today we're diving into the 80s classic horror movie and building John Carpenter's The Thing. This movie is one of the most iconic horror movies in the realm of body horror and special effects. I actually already did this whole build as a live stream when I was attempting live streams. They were fun, but I just like making videos. The creature simply known as the Thing is, if we're being honest, the ultimate life form. Every cell of its form is a living creature that forms a superorganism. It can then infect and transform a new host into becoming a new creature like it. Because of its unique cellular structure, the Thing can reshape itself into new, more dangerous forms to better survive. With this ability, it can separate pieces of its own body to create new creatures that can then survive apart from the main body, and these pieces can even be its own blood. It can also reform parts of its body to form offensive weapons to either attack or ensnare those it wishes to infect. These offensive weapons can be claws, tentacles, even fanged maws in places mouths don't normally appear. When it infects another creature with its genetics, it also consumes the genetics of the other creature, making them a part of itself. This means the Thing can survive catastrophic damage to its body and quickly adapt to any environment and situation. Now, the comic books explored its abilities further, with even a whole one-shot devoted to the emotions and thoughts of two completely different creatures existing undetected amongst human society. It's revealed the creature's intelligence is limited to its main form. This means while it understands what it is and can do, its tactical ability is based on the intelligence of the form it is currently assuming, meaning if it's a fish, it is as smart as a fish. It understands this and avoids consuming and infecting creatures with a lower than baseline intelligence. It also has trouble changing forms back and forth at will, even though it stores the previous absorbed DNA and can reshape its body to enhance itself or create weapons. After a certain point, it does have to be careful. Effectively, its biomass determines how far it can go with its form, meaning it can't grow more biomass, just absorb more. So it has to be careful that if it starts breaking off pieces of its own body, those pieces cannot grow back. Now, before we go any further, we need to talk about a couple things. Firstly, please discuss what you want to do with your DM and limits with your group. Body horror is a slippery slope, and if you're not careful, it can get away from you pretty quickly. Second, this will not be a one-to-one conversion. I can only give you the abilities, not the limitations of the creature. You're going to have to do that yourself, so once more, talk to your DM. Also, if you are a DM wanting to make this your big bad for a full one-shot and don't want it to be too strong, good news, the Thing is already in D&D. Go to your local game store and pick up the book Tome of Beasts 3 by Kobold Press and turn to page 367 and introduce yourself to The Flesh. It's an almost perfect one-to-one conversion that is a CR4. If you want it to be tougher or more perfected and a more arcing villain, use my build or combine the two together. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook, Monsters of the Multiverse, and every other book for spells and creatures that you can assume. Oh yeah, we're gonna go crazy with this one. We're using standard point array to keep things simple, and we are not multi-classing because one class gives us everything we need. We're going to start things off with Wisdom at 15. Regardless of the form, you always have an innate understanding of yourself and what it takes to survive. Strength will come in at 14. Part of the ability to reshape yourself allows you to increase your muscle strength, meaning you can do things your current form shouldn't be able to do, though this only affects your standard form. Dex will be flying in at a 13. In all honesty, the stat should be higher, and at the same time, it's perfect as it could be based on your current form or your muscular strength. Standard point array. Yay. Charisma Charisma will be 12, which is low for you. You can not only mimic appearance, but behavior as well, as you've absorbed their brains. We'll fix this later. Con is low with a 10, and we're dumping Intelligence. Con is kind of mute, as your health is based on your form, and death really isn't a concept that comes easy to you. And Intelligence is really based on what form you take. The Thing is a superorganism that can assume any form it has consumed. Changeling, found in Monsters of the Multiverse, will be a basis for this. Place +2 into Charisma and +1 into Wisdom. Changeling Instincts grant you 2 skills to better hide amongst others. Grab Deception and Persuasion. Shape Changer allows you to assume a new humanoid form as an action. Normally you decide how this appears and if it's a small or medium creature, but you can give yourself the limitation of only assuming the form of someone you've consumed or simply touched and absorbed. This only works to assume the form of a creature that is the same biomass as you, so no animals are becoming a large creature and growing extra limbs. When you take this form, you stay in it until you use your action to change or you die. By the way, changelings are Fey, meaning any spell that detects Fey will automatically ping you as not what you appear to be. You can also talk to your DM about changing you from a Fey to an aberration, as I feel it fits better. For background, we need more thing skills, so take survival and stealth. Okay, it's time to become the ultimate shapeshifter and survivalist. Level 1 Druids start off with 2 skills, grab Perception and Insight. Druidic is a special magical language that only Druids can understand, or maybe it's a biological language that only your kind can understand. You can also leave magical messages for others to find, but they need a DC 15 perception check to find it, and they still can't understand it even with magic unless they speak Druidic. Spell casting makes you a spellcaster. You can prepare a total number of spells equal to your Druid level plus Wisdom modifier between long rests. You start off with 2 cantrips and 4 first level spells. For your spells, Thorn Whip lashes out with a tentacle and attacks a creature up to 30 feet away and deals 1d6 piercing damage, and then pulls the creature 10 feet towards you if they are a size category large or smaller. Primal Savagery sharpens your teeth or fingers and allows you to attack with them, dealing 1d10 acid damage on a hit. Both Thorn Whip and Primal Savagery are melee spell attacks, which means they will use your Wisdom for attack. Jump makes your legs stronger, tripling your jump distance for 1 minute. Long Strider increases your movement speed by 10 feet for 1 hour. Cure Wounds heals 1d8 plus your Wisdom modifier. You get 1 more spell, take what you want. Level 2 Druids gain Wild Shape. This lets you assume the form of animals with an action that you have seen or consumed. Once more, you can set your own limitations on this character, and it might make things a bit more fun for you. When you assume the form of a beast, you assume its HP and gain its abilities and skills, but you retain your Wisdom, Charisma, and Intelligence score, as well as your own personality, skills, saving throws, class features, and features from your lineage. While you're in this beast form, you can't speak or cast spells, but you still benefit from spells you casted before and can maintain spells you casted before you changed. When you hit 0 HP in your beast form, you return to your original form at HP you had before changing, but any extra damage will carry over. You stay in this form for a number of hours equal to half your Druid level, and you can do this twice between short or long rests. When you choose the beast that you are transforming into, there are limitations on what you can do. Right now, you can assume the form of a beast that has a flying speed or swimming speed, or higher than CR 1/4. Let's fix that because you also get your subclass here. Circle of the Moon, found in the player's handbook, is one of the best subclasses you can take for druids who focus on changing. Combat Wild Shape improves your Wild Shape. It is now a bonus action for you, and you can heal yourself by burning spell slots while in this form. This healing is 1d8 plus the spell slot level. Circle Forms removes the CR limitation on your Wild Shape and gives you new ones, but not the movement limitations. Right now, you can assume the form of a beast of CR 1 or lower. For your new spell, take what you want. We're done with first level spells. Level 3 Druids receive second level spells. For your new spell, Bark Skin hardens your skin and gives you an AC of 16 for 1 hour while you maintain the spell, regardless of what your AC is before. Level 4 Druids earn our first ability score improvement. Place this into Wisdom for more spells, spell attack, and DC. You can also now assume the forms of beasts that can swim. For your new spell, Pass Without Trace adds +10 to your stealth rolls for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. Enhance Ability grants you enhancements to certain stat checks for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. When you cast this spell, you can choose what stat you want, and now you have advantage on those checks, like Charisma checks for better deception or Dex for better stealth. Also, if you choose Dex, Strength, or Con, you gain more benefits while you maintain this spell. I'll let you read those for yourself. Guidance gives you a D4 to 1 skill check you make for 1 minute while you maintain this spell. This whole level is about making you a better liar or sneakier. Level 5 Druids gain 3rd level spells. For your new spell, Water Breathing allows you to breathe underwater for 24 hours. Your character level 5 now. Thorn Whip now does 2d6 piercing damage, and Primal Savagery now does 2d10 acid damage. Level 6 Moon Druids have their circle forms upgraded. Now you can assume the form of a beast that has a CR level of your Druid level divided by 3, meaning you can do CR2, and at the end of this build you'll be able to do CR6. But this is just for Wild Shape. Primal Strike makes your attacks in your beast form magical. For your new spell, take what you want. Level 7 Druids receive 4th level spells. For your new spell, Polymorph is a poor man's wild shape, and it's more like how you would actually transform. For 1 hour while you maintain the spell, you can transform into a beast of CR equal to your current level, which is 7. When you assume this form, you do not retain your skills or stats, but do retain your personality. Like with wild shape, if you drop to 0 in this form, you must return to your previous state, but will still take damage from spillover. This is for when you burn your wild shape, or you want to turn into a beast that's higher than your wild shape will allow at your current level. Level 8 Druids earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Wisdom. You now no longer have any movement limitations on your wild shape. Become flying creatures, fish, anything. For your spell, Stone Skin hardens your skin and makes you resistant to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. Freedom of Movement makes you harder to pin down. For 1 hour, your movement is unaffected by difficult terrain. Also, spells and other magical effects that reduce your speed or paralyze or restrain you have no effect on you. You can also use 5 feet of your movement to escape non-magical restraints, and being underwater imposes no penalties. Think of this spell as your body is contorting to escape traps. Level 9 Druids now have 5th level spells. For your new spell, take what you want. Level 10 Moon Druids gain Elemental Wild Shape. You can now use your wild shape to become blood. I mean a water elemental. You can also become air, fire, or earths, but who cares? For your new spell, Resistance gives you a D4 to 1 saving throw for 1 minute while you maintain this spell. You get 1 more spell, have fun. Level 11 Druids receive 6th level spells. For your new spell, Let's grab so much better defense. Investiture of Stone hardens your skin and gives you the power to dig through soil. I know it doesn't sound cool, but it's great to scare people. For 10 minutes while you maintain the spell, you have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical weapons. You can use your action to create a small earthquake around you in a 15-foot radius, forcing a dex save on any creature around you, and should they fail, they are now prone. Finally, you can move over difficult terrain made of earth or stone without spending extra movement, and you can move through solid earth as if it's normal air, but can't end your turn there. If you do not, you are ejected from the ground and are stunned. Your character level 11 now. Thorn Whip now does 3d6 piercing damage, and Primal Savagery now does 3d10 acid damage. Level 12 Druids earn another ability score improvement. Let's bump up Charisma. For your new spell, Heal heals you 70 HP and will end blindness, deafness, and any disease. Level 13 Druids now have 7th level spells. For your new spell, time for some big shape-shifting energy. Draconic Transformation makes you an unbelievable monster with a bonus action. For 1 minute while you maintain this spell, you grow wings and have a flying speed of 60 feet. You have blind sight out to 30 feet and can release a roar so devastating that it causes damage. As part of the bonus action to cast this spell, and as a bonus action each turn while active, you create a 16-foot cone from you, forcing a dex save, or take 68 force damage on a failure. Level 14 Moon Druids receive their final subclass feature, Thousand Forms. You can now cast Alter Self at will with no spell slot. For 1 hour while you maintain the spell, you can cause yourself to transform in some way. You can give yourself gills and a swimming speed equal to your walking speed, change your physical appearance, which you can already do, and make natural weapons out of your body. These natural weapons can be whatever you wish, like a fang mouth opening on your chest or elongated claws from your fingers, or even a tentacle. With these natural weapons, they count as unarmed strikes and deal 1d6. They are magical and add +1 to attack and damage. This will be based on your strength, not wisdom, but we'll be bumping that up soon. Not that amazing considering everything else you have, but this is a 2nd level spell that is now a cantrip for you. You now have some great combat cantrips from any situation. For your new spell, Regenerate gives you a healing factor for 1 hour. For 1 hour, you regain 10 HP per minute or 1 HP per round. When you cast this spell, you regain 4d8 plus 15 HP and can restore severed limbs after 2 minutes. Think of this as your cells just reattaching themselves to each other. Level 15 Druids gain 8th level spells. For your new spell, Customize, we need only 1 more spell and we have 7 more spells coming up. Level 16 Druids earn another ability score improvement. Let's start bringing up your strength because you need it. You get a new spell here and you choose. Level 17 Druids receive the highest spell slots a mortal can cast, 9th. For your new spell, we're going to have some real fun. Shape Change is Wild Shape Unbound. You can now become any creature you've seen, not just beasts, for 1 hour while you maintain this spell. Dragons, giants, ogres, oozes, purple worms, anything. The only limitation this has is they can't be undead or a construct and must be a CR equal to your current level. So by the end of this build, you can turn into a CR 20 monster, and there are good ones. Sadly, you will only ever have 1 9th level spell slot, so save this for when you need it. Your character level 17 now. Thorn Whip now does 4d6 piercing damage, and Primal Savagery now does 4d10 acid damage. Level 18 Druids actually get features from their class and not their subclass. Timeless Body slows your aging down. You now only age 1 year for every 10 years that pass. Beast Spells now lets you cast spells in your wild shape form, as long as it doesn't require a material component. Remember, this only affects wild shape, not polymorph or shape change. For your new spell, take what you want, I'm giving you nothing here. Level 19 Druids earn our final ability score improvement, place this into Strength. Our final level is level 20 Druid, and you are an Arch Druid, which is probably one of the best ending features there is for any class. You now have unlimited wild shapes. You literally went from 2 to infinite. That's awesome. You can also ignore all spell components for your spells as long as they do not have a gold value and will be consumed by the spell. Seriously, this is a great ending. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 18, Dex 13, Con 10, Intelligence 8, Wisdom 20, Charisma 16. Let's dive in. What is your true form? Seriously, what is your true form? You can become any humanoid or beast that you've encountered. Hell, you can become anything you want, including a pool of blood. Though it's not blood, it's you. You just broke yourself down. In combat, you're pretty scary. All your damage spells are cantrips, meaning your spell slots can be saved for healing or defense. In your beast forms that use wild shape, your attacks are magical and can cast spells. Finally, you can augment your skills to have advantage or add extra dice to them, making you either really sneaky or really deceptive. Downside. Just gonna start with the big thing for me. Character doesn't fit the narrative. The thing has a lot of limitations that you do not have, but this is all a roleplay problem, not an actual build problem. You can of course talk to your DM about it, and I have no illusions you will. Just have fun with the build regardless. Now on to the real cons. You are loaded full of concentration spells. Thankfully your damage spells are all cantrips, so you don't have to worry about spell resource management or what concentration spells to use. Speaking of damage, outside of wild shape, you only can attack once, which means you will not be overloading enemies with attacks. Your resource management is tight till level 20, so you'll be burning wild shape pretty quickly. Finally, some of your stats are kind of dumb. Con adds nothing, so health isn't going to be good for you, barely breaking 100 HP taking the average. This means any spillover from your wild shape or your polymorphed forms are going to be devastating to you at higher levels. Intelligence is horrible, and even though you are proficient in intelligence saves, that is still a +5 to the rolls instead of, better. Now some of you would say, oh, that's still not too bad, but your other proficient save is a +11. Your dex is only +1, which gives you an AC of 11 without armor. With armor, it won't be much better, so you'll need to use your defense spells. On a side note, all your stats except for wisdom could be better, so roll for stats. This build has its own bad limitations that must be overcome, but the positives can make for a fun game. Infiltrate the lesser being society and do whatever it takes to survive. But beware, moving too slow will end you pretty quickly. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.